Hello, I'm Razla from Noobs TBH on Magferrodon EU. This is just a quick run over the Twin Ogron on Mythic difficulty. It says in the description it's a guide, but it's less of a guide and more of me just telling you how we kill it. If you can take something away from it and it helps you get a kill, then all well and good. Because there's loads of tactics for this boss in particular, positioning wise and where to stand, what you're going to do, when you're going to do it. So yeah, just hopefully you can take something from the video at least. I'm just going to assume that you've at least killed it on normal or heroic, otherwise why are you even looking at mythic bosses? So the only changes really is the bosses take it in turns of empowering. When Phemos is empowered, he's Whirlwind, acts like a Vortex style ability, so sucks you into the direction of where he stood. Easily countered by, we use obviously a Stampeding Roar aspect of the Fox as well. If you've got a Hunter, is lovely to keep the DPS and heals up. That's one of the main changes. You've also got Arcane Volatility, which is a set of debuffs that go out, very similar to the Trash beforehand. Goes out on 4 people. When it expires, they blow up within an 8-yard range, so you don't want to be stood near anyone. Obviously, more damage. It's a mythic boss. Of course, it's going to hit harder. Everything hits harder. It's got more health. You need to hit harder. And then Pole, when he is empowered, he'll do a charge. When he does the charge, the shield charge, obviously, which he normally does, when it's empowered, 3 clones will then charge out in set directions. So basically, easiest way to describe it is if you imagine Pole charging north, he will then have his 3 clones charge east, west, and south. So there's obvious safe locations, which is at any of the diagonal points, so northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. So you only need to sidestep one of the charges, preferably the main charge, Pole's actual charge himself, and you will just by default avoid the other charges. So that's very easily handled. The main things is positioning. I mean, most guilds tank it in this way now, I would imagine, because it's a bit more RNG. Obviously, the Quake, the weapons can be thrown at random places around the room, around the circle. So, whereas on Heroic and Normal, you always avoid pretty much half the fire by tanking it in this manner. With Mythic, you can get lucky or you can get unlucky. So sometimes you'll hardly have to move at all. Other times you might have to move a crap load tanking it like this. But either way, it's really not an issue. Tanking it like this is fine. We have them tanked at green, obviously where you can see now. The tank with Phemos, when he's going to Whirlwind, runs up to purple, which is up like in the alcove directly above Pole. And then the ranged healers stand just 20 yards sort of below us. But it's safe to go into melee as healers and range, just as long as there's not a pulverize coming. All the other abilities are there, obviously. The interrupting shout, which easy, stop casting. Enfeebling roar, obviously you need to get stacked within 20 yards of Phemos to get the debuff to split the damage taken debuff. Obviously, you know all the normal tactics. The only thing that's tricky is when Arcane Volatility is coming in. Always comes in during enfeeblement. So we have everyone stacked behind the boss. Anyone with Volatility moves to the front of the boss, 8 yards apart though. They blow up, they then move to the back. Then the next wave will go out, they then move to the front. So as long as the people who move to the front, once the debuff's gone, they move to the back. There's always plenty of room. The difficult part is the first dangerous crossover, which is when you get pulverized and enfeeblement at the same time, and you're going to have the sets of Arcane Volatility. It's completely your choice if you want the people with Volatility just to move out of the raid completely and ignore the enfeeblement. Us personally, as you'll see in our kill, we actually have the Volatility people still move to the front because there's plenty of room. It's a big old hitbox. You just need to be 3 yards apart for the pulverize, and 8 yards apart with the people who've got Volatility. So yeah, that's easy enough. all I would recommend is for the Quakes, they hit a lot harder than on Heroic, obviously. So you want to set up a cooldown rotation. You only need 3 sets of cooldowns, and then you can just keep repeating those 3 over and over again. And preferably if you can set some cooldown rotations up for the Pulverize as well, when the big Pulverize hits, that it just help the healers out a lot. I've just put our cooldown usage up on the screen, so it'll just give you an idea on what you can do. The only other dangerous crossover really is the one that you just saw in the video towards the end, where you get the Empowered Whirlwind, so you're being sucked in and Pulverize is going on, and you're at the back end of a Quake as well. But again, this fight is really entry level to Mythic. Once you've got Kargath down, this will be your next stop. It shouldn't take you too long to get it down at all, as long as you've got a semi-competent group. So that pretty much rounds it up. Thanks for watching. All comments are welcome. Obviously, we're relatively new to the whole uploading and helping people with videos. So, yeah, any comments are appreciated. What I will say is, don't worry about my performance. I'm not a main spec DPS anymore, so yeah, I made lots of mistakes. You'll see loads in the video, but it just shows how easy it is. You can make mistakes and still kill it. So good luck. Hope you get it down.